Hey folks, today is Friday, February 23rd, 2024. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. And if I look a little frazzled, it's because we have a lot of things to talk about. It's been a good week. So let's just jump in with the first story. My game has been found. This is my ideal game. I don't think we need any more video games after this. Feast your eyes on this. This is called Kingmakers, and this is something that you would think looks like a boring old kind of Mountain Blade Knights army game. You know, a dad medieval warfare game. Fine, well and good. Those are great, but you're actually playing as a guy with a gun and a pickup truck, and it's you against hordes of medieval army. Again, this is Kingmakers. We don't know too much behind it other than that, like, it's being published by Tiny Build, so it's definitely like a reputable thing. I'm curious to see how good this really is because I am in love with this concept. It just looks like a ton of dumb fun. It's listed on Steam now, and it seems like it's coming 2024, and I just love big dumb fun. And this looks like it could scratch that itch for me. This made a big blast when it hit social media this week. If you saw it already, I want to know what you think. If I'm showing it to you for the first time now, what are your first reactions? I'm surprised they haven't made more games like this yet. To me, it just feels like a kid with action figures mashing them together. And that, to me, is an ideal video game.
Hey, now before we keep going, let's just jump over here real quick to talk about today's sponsor. We're talking about browsers because, frankly, they're really boring. Whether it's pre-installed on your machine or you find something online, chances are most of the time it's not really tailored for you. So that's where our sponsor, Opera GX, really comes in handy. We've talked about Opera GX before, but basically it's a win-win solution for here with the channel and for you guys out there. It's a browser for gamers, but it's not cringy. Opera gives you a lot of ways to customize your browser just for you. It can be overwhelming, but thankfully in the GX store, there are GX mods you can access. Choose one of the many mods already added to the browser or create your own. Functionalities like background music, keyboard sounds, opening and closing tab sounds, themes and colors of the browsers, dedicated wallpaper, and a bunch more with some really creative user-generated mods themed specifically around games. I love this. But really for me, it's all about organization. Opera GX has so much integration that allows you to have stuff right in your sidebar that you're logged in ready to go, like Twitch, Discord, Instagram, and other messaging apps. Default browsers hog your PC performance, but thankfully, you can take advantage of GX Control, kind of manipulating your settings on your browser to maximize performance, kind of like tweaking graphics settings in a video game. Plus, they offer a quick import tool which allows you to just very quickly get stuff from your other browser set up on here. Think browsing history, bookmarks, stuff like that. So you should check out Opera GX. It's a no-brainer, and by checking it out, you help out this show. Just head to our link, click that in the description down below to download and set up Opera GX and ditch your boring old browser. And once again, big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Now back to the news.
Okay, now with the bills paid, we got to talk about our next story, a leaked Star Wars game. So Insider Gaming, who has a track record of getting some scoops, this was previously reported by Jeff Grubb, a Mandalorian Star Wars game. Yes, once again, we're getting wind that a Mandalorian Star Wars game is in the works, being developed by Respawn, which makes sense because they've had a pretty good grip on Star Wars lately with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. I like those very much. This is apparently going to be a first-person Mandalorian adventure where you're going through the galaxy collecting bounties and stuff. Star Wars, LucasArts, Lucas Games, we've tried this many times before, but I think Respawn could pull it off if this is true. Take it all with a grain of salt. As of right now, this is still just a rumor, but this is potentially exciting. We don't know what Mandalorian you're playing as. It's not confirmed. If it's like a Din Djarin, it could be a Boba Fett, because the timeline is going to be during the Galactic Empire, so there's a lot of room for something there, or it could be a new, original, different Mandalorian. I think there's a lot of potential here. Again, we've tried to do Boba Fett games before. Maybe this could be them really doing it. I don't see it being like Mandalorian, like the Disney Plus show, because there's kind of like oversaturation with that at this point. There's a movie coming out as well. Also, the source does report that the game is emphasized around action and style, and I don't think Din Djarin is like the most stylish bounty hunter. He's cool at first, but then he kind of just like fails upward. Like, I want someone more badass, like Jango Fett or Boba Fett, but I digress. I always can't help myself but get into the Star Wars nerd stuff. But if this is true, I think this is potentially really exciting. So I linked the reports down in the description below, as well as everything else I talk about. Star Wars games, we've been eating good lately, so I just personally hope that trend continues. The other biggest bit of news this week that hit, and I'm sure you're probably like, why haven't you talked about it yet? The Elden Ring DLC reveal. We knew Shadow of the Erdtree was a thing, but now we got an official gameplay trailer, and it looks like more Elden Ring. And that is not a bad thing. But you see some new things, potentially some new character builds and movesets, a new area with FromSoft going on record saying it's about the size, maybe a little bit bigger than Limgrave. So kind of like the more opening area of Elden Ring, if you recall. There's some really cool boss battles and like wild shit going on with this. I can't speculate to the lore and story stuff because I'm just not really as versed in that. I just played it. But it seems like people are pretty excited about some of the potential story stuff going on behind the scenes. Still, it just looks like it's going to be fun to play and probably challenging. I'm already exhausted, but we know it's got a release date, June 21st. Yeah, mark your calendars. You're going to be able to get back into Elden Ring. This sounds pretty big, and the price tag is pretty hefty. It's $40 US. Some people are scoffing at that. Other people who are obsessed with Elden Ring probably do not care. From Software DLCs in the past, I think, have been pretty good, pretty substantial. So, yeah, man, we'll definitely be talking about this one quite a bit, I'm sure. But just some quick news I wanted to jump in real quick. We got some announcements of some new PSVR 2 games, but the biggest thing I wanted to talk about with that announcement is that Sony is working on enabling the PlayStation VR 2 headset to work with PC. That is potentially very huge. It's not as easy as just plugging the thing and playing. There's definitely some software stuff they have to do behind the scenes, but that is a powerful and welcoming move. I think VR should be as open an ecosystem as possible. When places have opened it up in the past, it has proved valuable. You know, I use my Meta Quest with Steam VR. Like, I think that's good. So for people in 2024 to possibly be able to use their PSVR 2 headset to take advantage of more VR gaming, that's great. As someone who likes VR, the more the merrier. Also, speaking of VR, in the next week or so, we're going to be doing a video on Apple Vision Pro. It's going to be dumb. We're going to try and play games in it. Keep your eyes peeled for that. But the news keeps on going. There's so much. There was a Nintendo Direct this week, centered more around third-party, stuff. The whole thing will be linked in the description down below, but the couple of things I wanted to highlight is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance got a release date. It's June 21st. Also, Contra Operation Galuga is releasing March 12th, but there's also a demo out now. A couple of demos actually came out of this Nintendo Direct, so check that link. But Epic Mickey is also getting like kind of a remaster, re-release. I never really played that one, and I always wanted to. That is coming sometime in 2024. And last but certainly not least, from this Nintendo Direct, we know that Grounded and Pentiment, formerly Xbox exclusives, are coming to Switch, which leads to the next story of this week. The next big story is that we now know what Xbox games are going multi-platform. We've talked about this lead up for the last couple of weeks, but now from the horse's mouth, here's the deal as of right now. We've got Sea of Thieves coming to PlayStation 5 April 30th. That's pretty exciting. You know, more player base for a game that at this point has a lot of content. It's gotten much better over the years. So PlayStation fans are just jumping into some like a finely tuned thing. And speaking of that, that's also the situation with Grounded. That is coming April 16th to Nintendo Switch and PS5. Another kind of like big open multiplayer game that has really fine-tuned and figured out things at this point. Gotten much better. That's the Obsidian one, by the way. Hi-Fi Rush, one of my favorites from last year, is coming March 9th to PlayStation 5. And believe it or not, another one of my favorites, Pentiment, is February 22nd, and that is on Switch and PS5. So there you have it. Xbox has said that they are experimenting, putting a couple of select titles out on other platforms to generate more interest and probably more money. So yeah, there you have it. What are you going to jump into if you haven't touched these games yet? Let us know. Maybe we'll revisit them in some videos, like a, Sea of Thieves a couple of years later or something like that. But there were a lot of gameplay reveals and interesting things to go down this week. I will link all of this in the description down below. A lot of it is just like lengthier, gameplay showcases. The first is a new look at Little Devil Inside. You guys have been asking me for news on this one. The game has gone dark for so long, but the developers released a video just showcasing a lot more gameplay, and it still looks really cool. Traversal seems like it's kind of on this like overworld map. It seems very open. Combat, I'm still not convinced on here with what they showed, but the visual style, the adventuring, the questing, all of it just looks really cool and really unique. People have been hanging on this one for a while just because it's different. It's something different, and I really wish them the best, and I hope we get to see more of this game soon. Also, we got a good extended gameplay look at Rise of the Ronin. This is the next Team Ninja game, and it seems really interesting. I mean, they've done Neo, they've done Wolong, they've done so much at this point, but this does look like a different cut. Visually, graphics-wise, I know it's been getting a lot of flack. It doesn't look the hottest, but from a fun factor gameplay standpoint, I'm really excited to see where this one goes. Also, holy shit, I'm so happy about this. I was saying Star Wars game fans are eating good, and we're getting OG Battlefront ported to PC and PlayStation, and this is March 14th. It's the original 2 Battlefront games. I mean, the new Battlefront has gotten good after many years of updates, but I am very much looking forward to jumping in and playing these again. This is from Aspyr, the people who have ported many a Star Wars game at this point, and they have done mostly a really good job. So I'm excited to see this. You're going to be able to do 64-player multiplayer, all the maps, all the things that were sometimes exclusive to other platforms. It's all opened up now, and I am definitely going to be jumping into this. Now, it was a big week for Before You Buy videos as well. We put out a lot. The biggest one is for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I didn't do this Before You Buy. You guys know I typically do most of the big game releases, but there are too many games. So over the last year, I've kind of been taking on help more with Falcon and Eric behind the scenes covering these. So they've done a great job. It's a big city. I can't be everywhere. I can't cover every game, but check out this video. They absolutely crushed it, and I'm really dying to get some time to play it myself. Also, Nightingale is in early access now. This is the survival game with kind of like a fun little, Dickensian steampunk take from former BioWare developers. We got a Before You Buy on that. It's not really scratching my itch, but yeah, check it out and see for yourself. But also, I did a Before You Buy on Pacific Drive. This is that PC, PS5, first-person car RPG science adventure. I absolutely love it. It is for a very specific type of player. It's got a lot of annoyances, but I still just was genuinely hooked. So I'm very proud of that video. Check it out. Let me know what you think. We were very busy with Before You Buy this week, like I said, but there's a bunch of other gameplay reveals that went down. The biggest thing for me was Mortal Kombat 1 first look at Peacemaker. It is the John Cena Peacemaker from the Peacemaker show, and it's got all the stuff from that awesome show, if you watch it. It's got his voice-activated helmet, like all the moves, he's saying it out loud. Eagly shows up. There's a really good fatality. Check it. I mean, at this point, NetherRealm just does such good character reveal trailers. They've been crushing it lately. I love what they did with Omni-Man, so yeah, that just continues here. But also, we got a new look at Flintlock, Siege of Dawn. This is that third-person action-adventure RPG that was revealed a while back. Hadn't seen too much of it, and I'm curious to see how this one is going to be, because despite some of the generic title and presentation, there might be some good combat gameplay stuff going on here, but I linked that if you want to judge it for yourself. And along with that, if you were looking for an update for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, either you're the small group playing it and having fun with it, I've seen you guys out there, or you're a lot of the people that just really didn't like it. Warner Brothers has now come out and said that the game has fallen short of their expectations, and they expect that it's just going to be a tough year for the game business year over year. And yeah, Rocksteady hasn't come out and said that they canceled their plans for a year of content and DLC. They're probably still going to be working on that, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, Warner Brothers and their head saying this fell short of expectations and it's going to be a tough year. I mean, they're sitting on a pile of money from Hogwarts Legacy, so I don't have too much sympathy. That was the biggest selling game of last year, but we're just going to have to see where this stuff goes. And I really am curious to see how the Wonder Woman game is going to pan out. That was announced a while ago. We haven't heard much. So yeah. Also, we got a trailer for the Borderlands movie. This movie has been in the works for so long. It's got a pretty stacked cast. Eli Roth is directing it. The trailer is out. Judge for yourself. I think everybody kind of has a little bit of a different feel for Borderlands, so it's hard to gauge reactions on this one. I am not the biggest Borderlands guy, so whatever, but I will say Cate Blanchett. Just excellent. Just God, I love her. But anyway, yeah, if you're looking for something to watch now, instead of wait for the Borderlands movie, the documentary on Hideo Kojima is out now. It's like a Kojima Productions directed documentary. Like, I don't know how much of a puff piece this is, but it is Hideo Kojima Connecting Worlds. In most territories, it is on Disney Plus, which is the weirdest place in the world for a Hideo Kojima documentary. But I think in the United States, it's on Hulu. And yeah. Check that out. I'm going to be watching that this weekend because I'm a Kojima fanboy, but we'll just have to see where this goes. That's probably a better watch than the Halo show right now, but that's just me. Not dunking on it. Let's wrap it up. We've talked about it a lot, so I want to know what you guys think in the comments about everything going on this week. From the Xbox games coming to other platforms. Is there a game that you've been waiting to try that you're finally going to check out? Is it Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment? Let's talk. Also, what do you think about Kingmakers? Are you as hyped as me? I just love dumb, stupid video game fun. Video game-ass video games, if you will. Let me know what you think about that. The potential Star Wars Mandalorian game. Shouldn't it just be about Mandalore from Knights of the Old Republic? I would pay $100 for a game about that, dude. Elden Ring DLC. Let's talk anything video games from this week down in the comments. Big thank you to our sponsor, Opera GX, this week for having our back. But let us know anything in the comments. Of course, we'll be down there as much as possible. But if you want to yell at us directly, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and my other YouTube channel and threads. Just look up my name, Jake Baldino. That's really it. Thank you guys for coming around here every Friday to get caught up on the news. We really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Be well. Play some video games if you can. I'm Jake Balladino. See you guys next time. Pizza's on me.